And
Hello everybody. Well, I am going to be watching this because obviously not Deception. I'm going to watch this next. He doesn't have a jacket of a noise anymore. Like, actually has the whole banner behind him. That's cool. Hey, look, Dr. Lobit. I see him right there. Sad faces.
okay,
Oh wait, that reminds me. Nah. Send me a bat service.
thing going. Laid. Is this thing going? Couple seconds here. I'm just making sure everything's working now that it's connected. So 1 second. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
You getting the audio okay? Give me kind of a thumbs up if you guys are hearing me okay in there.
Yes.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Like how we just said that.
Looks like we are good to go. Just a couple more seconds. Oh yeah, well you're waiting on me to kind of get this set up, like you guys can kind of scope out the dark deception background blanket I've got behind me. It's a little bit more interesting than the blank wall and the couch, right?
Definitely. Is there a gold watch
Alright,
pillow?
so
I don't know.
pull my questions here.
Goldie.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. We're not pretty much. Welcome back to another Q&A live stream. This is pretty much where you guys get to ask me the questions you want to ask about dark deception, and I go through them and answer them for you. And the way we usually set that up is that I will answer member questions, subscriber questions, and super chats. Anybody that sends in a super chat and wants to make a donation,
I don't have super chat.
you can do that and guarantees that your question
I
will
want to
be
be
read.
noticed.
So that is an option if you're not a member and you can't use the live chat this time. And the reason I went with the live chat, the member-only live chat, is simply because we had a lot of spammers last time, and it was kind of ruining it for everybody. And there's not really any way for me to really kind of moderate that really well. So I just wanted
Do you mean moderate?
to kind of thin it out a bit and have like more of a fun discussion going on in there. So that simplifies things a little bit. So I asked you guys to send me in questions just like last time. I don't know if all of you have checked out the first episode of our live Q&A stream. But
yeah, because you said, what was it, Mama Bear's is hardest skill-wise. The Joy Game trap, whichever one that is, that's your favorite trap. I don't know what of the stuff you said about that before.
just like last time, I got a ton of questions from you all, so thank you very much. It's kind of like, it's pretty much midnight here right now, so I may be a little bit tired while I'm doing this. So just kind of bear with me if I'm not as alert as I was last time. It's really hard to kind of sync up all the time windows globally. And I kind of cut out Europe last time, and I wanted to find a time slot that was able to accommodate our fans in Europe this time so that more of you could kind of tune in for the live stream. So I think in future live streams, I'm going to kind of alternate between this time slot and the one I used last time to try to include fan bases from the different regions. But we'll see how it goes, which one gets more viewers and seems like it's reaching the Dark Deception community more is the time slot I'll probably stick with more often. So member questions, our first question is from Arteme. If I pronounce any of these wrong, just kind of forgive me for that. His question's actually about Ayano's Lovesick Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
So his question is, will Ayano's Lovesick Labyrinth have the same abilities powers as Dark Deception, such as speed boost, teleportation, etc., etc.? Or will this game have its own set of abilities? The answer to that question is actually a little bit of both. So it's going to have a few of the familiar Dark Deception powers in the gameplay, but it's also going to have a couple unique powers that are exclusive to Ayano's Lovesick Labyrinth and kind of tie in with Yandere Simulator.
That makes no sense. I mean,
Okay,
it's a crossover with Yandere and Dark Deception, so it makes sense to kind of like make some unique ones for the Yandere part, and then have some old ones from Dark Deception.
2. This is from PV Zombos. How different do you think Dark Deception's music would have been if you had never hired back Daniel Dombrowski?
Oh yeah, what? How did that even go?
Very different. So our original composer, we actually have one of his tracks up on our channel you can listen to. It's called Dark Destiny. And if you listen to that, you'll probably be able to recognize a very distinct style in that music.
Hold on. Dark Deception, Dark Destiny. Yeah, no, there's definitely. What in the what?
Music, and it's very Danny Elfman. So our soundtrack before was basically Danny Elfman style, which was really cool, but it didn't really fit with the new direction that our remake of Dark Deception went in. And so we wanted to have something that was much darker and epic sounding, and that kind of pushed us away from that style. So I'm really happy I hired back Dan, because that's basically his specialty. Number 3, it's from Jason. If there's a hard mode later, will it do more than just increase the speed of the enemies? Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that we're still kind of designing out, like what exactly hard mode is going to entail.
I actually have my own kind of theories. I'm thinking hard mode would be, well, obviously faster AIs, maybe even like new traps, maybe more difficult bosses, all that kind of stuff. Like traps would be more frequent.
It will up the speed of enemies to be much more challenging, but we are going to add in a few extra features as well to really make you guys pull your hair out. So
That's not good.
hard mode's going to be for people who hate themselves and really want to.
You see, this is why I'm not gonna do hard mode. I might try to do it once, but I'm not doing it again.
Punish themselves and really accept an insane challenge. It's basically going to be our game's kind of hell mode. So
How ironic! It's in purgatory. Then he goes to hell mode.
yeah, expect a very challenging hard mode beyond just a speed increase. But you know, we really, as I said before, and I think I've answered this in a forum before, or in a comments section, or maybe just in our member server, but I especially respect people that want to work hard and accept challenges. So there will be a reward fitting of that challenge added in as well, if you accept the challenge of hard mode. So number 4, which is from Duckpen. Assuming that they are not going to kill you, this is a hypothetical or question. If you had to have tea with and or interview one of the monsters, which one would you pick?
Oh my god!
And why?
Which one? I'm actually wondering. Probably Gold Watches.
Okay, I don't think any of them would be a really good tea time partner. We drink a lot of tea here in Asia, and I know in Europe, you know, tea's a staple in the UK as well. I guess Agatha would be the most imaginative tea partner. She'd probably teleport out when the bill came.
When the bill comes, yeet!
Ducky's a bit of a klepto. He'd probably just snatch the whole teapot into his body and act like nothing happened.
Vince, you're giving me animation ideas. Thank you.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd go with Agatha. Number 5, Thief Prick. Will there be more concept art of other monsters or environments to see? Yes. So with the unlockables in the extras menu, as you gather and collect more folders throughout the Chapter 4 levels and Chapter 5, in addition to fan art, we often mix in our own concept art from development. So you'll get to see new environments and
Yeah,
monsters.
I was actually just showing Cody that yesterday.
I don't know if you're talking about other concepts of the existing monsters or monsters that were cut from the game. We've already cut out all of the monsters that we're going to cut, and we've shown those. Those were the vulture guards and like the spider pig and stuff. There's nothing
Wait, there are
beyond
gonna be multiple vulture guards. Huh.
that to see. So everything that we show environment-wise or monster-wise is going to be related to what's in the chapters. Question number 6 from Chunk. Oh,
There goes the poster.
and there goes the blanket. I'm just going to ignore that because it takes a while to put it back up. So disregard.
Nice.
I knew that was going to come down at some point. It's basically just taped up. It's a really big, heavy blanket. We didn't have anything to really keep it up.
I want that
So
blanket
our
now,
temporary
Vince. Wizard.
solution did not work. And,
I legitimately want that for my birthday. I don't know why, but I do.
okay, where were we at?
Yeah, question number 6, man.
Number 6 by Chunk. If you had the choice of becoming one monster from the whole game,
Oh my God.
which one would it be? I'd be Lucky. I just like Lucky. He's
Hey! Hold on, I'm just gonna quickly just put myself on do not disturb. But Lucky.
got
My third
a
son.
great personality, and I like his ability, which you will.
Oh, wait. Vince likes Lucky. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. So Vince, obviously no Vince knows about all the monsters and stuff like that, but he says that he likes what Lucky does. Ooh, okay, this is interesting.
We'll see later.
Later? Wait, he said later, not chapter 4, he said later. But probably when he says later, he probably means chapter 4.
Number 7 by Endo. What do you like to do when you've had enough of working on your game? I mean, just like you guys, I'm a gamer. I like to relax with games. I don't really get to game much anymore because I'm so busy working on Dark Deception and some of our other projects like DD Mobile, Ayano's Lovesick Labyrinth. So, I mean, when I get a moment, I want to game and play horror games that I haven't experienced yet. And I think that's kind of what I was planning to do with that Twitch channel, but I haven't really got a chance to kick it off yet. So I'm hoping I can start that up pretty soon.
I think I remember the...
And kind of unwind with some new horror games. I've seen some really interesting ones coming out that are just kind of like budget horror games, but they're really interesting indie games, and I'd like to give them a go. Number 8 by Sightson. If you have the chance, would you cross over with Fortnite?
What a stupid question to ask.
I'm
actually wondering now.
I don't know. That's a mixed bag. I guess I would be totally open to them having Dark Deception skins inside of Fortnite. Some people say that the nurse already looks kind of Fortnite, so, you know, if they had a nurse skin, that's cool. That's awesome. I mean, that would open Dark Deception up to a whole other group of gamers and fans. So I'm completely okay with that. I don't have any hatred for Fortnite or any other game.
Oh, interesting.
Number 9, which is from DK Channel. When did you decide to be a game developer? And did you decide to become one when you were young? Actually, no. When I was young, I wanted to be an animator. So I had this kind of plan when I was a kid. I was going to go work for Disney. Like, that was my thing. I like Disney movies, and I was going to go animate for Disney. At that time, the game industry wasn't... I mean, it was big. They still had PlayStation, and they had Nintendo and Microsoft and all that. But it wasn't as big as it is now. They didn't really have any indie scene at that time. So there wasn't really any hope of going off and working on your own and getting published. You had to get a publisher, which was really challenging at that time. So I didn't really get into games until I got to college, I guess. And then I started to see some of the game engines like Unity and Unreal, and that really kind of sparked my Nike 10. Nico Seal. When did you will you make any improvements or changes on chapters 1 through 3?
Oh yeah, because big boss battles and stuff
on the releases of new chapters like Bendy and Ink Machine did, or are they in perfect shape as they are? No. As you guys have seen, they're not in perfect shape. I mean, they're perfectly playable. They work fine for the majority of people, but there are some still minor funny bugs in the sewer and the circus that they're not game breaking, but they're kind of goofy. So they need to be fixed at some point just so we can, polish the game more. So we do plan to go back and fix some of those minor bugs that still exist. But is there definitely a lower priority to getting Chapter 4 and 5 done? So that's something we would go back and do after Chapter 4 and 5 is to finally address some of those little minor bugs from Chapters 1, 2, and 3. Mostly Chapters 2 and 3 that people are kind of goofing on and still having fun with.
Yeah, like Agatha going through the floor.
Okay, number 11 from, I always mess this up, Let's Say Loves Art. Are Dark Deception plushies being made?
Please.
Yes, they are being made. They've already been designed out, and we are working with some manufacturers to produce them. Unfortunately, that's something the coronavirus has impacted. So it's kind of put a halt on manufacturing toys and
Screw you, Corona.
plushies for the moment until that situation kind of
Dies down.
eases up a bit.
What's that?
So that will delay things a bit. And I think that relates to another question that's coming. So I'll probably touch back on that again in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take a moment to address some of our super chats that we received and answer some of those.
Alrighty, going ahead.
And I'm just going to read these off. Not all of these are questions. Some of them are just messages. So Freddie Fazbear donated 99 cents. Thank you, Freddie. Octo Lolbit
There he is again.
donated $1.99. Hi, Vince. Remember me? Maybe. Not if you use a different account name somewhere else. Hopefully it's the same. Thieprick. Even though this donation is small, I hope it helps. And he donated $3. Every dollar, every penny helps. It all goes right back into Dark Deception. So thank you very much for your contribution. Jacko Trap Studios donated $2. Hey, what are the mannequins going to be like? I wish I could tell you. All I can say is they're freaky mannequins. And they're different than anything else that's out right now. So that's all I can go into or reveal at the moment. But, as we approach Chapter 5, you'll start to get some teasers. So don't worry. Dark Phantoms.
Oh, yeah, something related to the mannequin. Something that's never been seen before.
Sorry, wrong one. Lolu donated 25.
There you go, some more.
Ron. I'm not sure which country that's from. I don't have a question. Just wanted to give money. Well, that helps too. Thank you very much, Lolu.
Give money.
And he's one of our members as well, so double the appreciation there. Let's Say Loves Art, pitching in again, $9.99. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Leslie, and we always appreciate your support. Oh, okay, well, Octololip's very active. He donated another $4.99. Why did you choose a hotel-themed level for the monkeys?
Oh, yeah.
That actually relates to the story, and I can't reveal that yet. But I can't tell you, you'll find out in Chapter 4.
Oh.
The Mining King donated $2. How is DD Mobile in Chapter 4 going? No rush. It's wrapping up. We're getting close. I can't give a release
Okay, it's wrapping up, meaning that it's probably going to come out within the next month. Hopefully.
date because you know how bad I am at release dates, and it's going to come back too.
Especially with Chapter 3, because I remember it was going to be on June 7th, I believe, which was ironically my 4-year anniversary on YouTube. Then they switched it to, what was it, something, I don't remember.
Bite me in the butt, so just keep patient a little bit longer. It's almost there.
Almost there. Oh boy.
ABD Cam donated 40 rubles. Will DD Mobile come out this month? It's possible, yes. So we're kind of polishing the last 10% of the visual bugs in DD Mobile. Basically, all the levels are done. We just have some visual bugs that are still remaining that we're trying to polish and perfect. So once that's done, then it's the submission process throughout.
If DD Mobile, I'm getting that on my phone if it's free. If it's free, your boy is getting it. If it's not free, I ain't getting it.
Apple and Android. And Android's easy. Apple takes a little bit of time. But it's very possible it could be within the next 30 days. It's possible it could go a little over that. And I'll give you a heads up when I know. So a trailer will go out a week before the launch. So when you see the trailer, you'll know that DD Mobile is only a week away. Let me see. Where was I? Claudius Maximus put in 10. Will Big Nurse be the boss in the nurse's level, or will she be an enemy while collecting soul shards?
Okay, if you're gonna reveal either one, let's see.
Understand if you can't answer.
Well,
The Big Nurse is involved in the level. I can't say how she's involved.
but at least
But yeah, she's not going to be a common enemy like the Reaper nurses. I can say that much.
Okay, so from what he said, it sounds like the Big Nurse is not the boss. Huh. Odd.
Insanity Lost put in 99 cents. Thank you very much. Sanity. Jacko Trap Studios threw in another 2. What is the name of the mannequins?
Oh, Lord.
Mannequins. We don't have like a specific name for them yet. We've just been basically calling them mannequins throughout the development process. We may give them an actual name once we hit Chapter 5, but for now we've just labeled them as mannequins. I know that's really original, right?
Yeah, totally.
Janet Walter put in $4.99. Will you make a mode where you can play as the monsters chasing a CPU?
That would be interesting.
No, not for Dark Deception.
Aw, man.
But for people who have asked for multiplayer, that's something we might do for that, except instead of a CPU, it would be a player. So it's potentially something that we may develop soon. Kelly Newby put in 10 Canadian dollars. Please be careful of virus in your area. Don't stay there for too long. Come back home someday. Okay, avoid Tokyo Olympics earthquake. This year is going to be rough worldwide, especially in East Asia. It's already rough in East Asia. I won't say where I'm at, but I'm in Asia. That's why it's midnight here. And the virus is
Makes sense.
causing some problems in traveling. So I don't know how long I'm going to stay over here. I may wind up back in the U.S. pretty soon. I'm sure there's a quarantine waiting for me if I go back. So we'll kind of see how things shake out over the next 2 months, but hopefully everything's pretty good. And I hope you guys are all staying healthy as well. I know everyone comes from many different countries. Some of them have been hit harder by others, especially our fans in Italy, Iran, South
Goldie,
Korea.
he basically just said that the Big Nurse is not a common enemy. So, meaning that it is not the boss. Well, it could be the boss
Locked
still, but I
in
don't
China.
know.
So I hope.
I mean, he didn't say it was the boss, let alone, well, at the same time, he didn't say it was either.
If everyone's taking care of themselves, don't take any chances. Just chill at home, play some games, and wait it out. Vanderlei 5974X put in 2R. I don't know if that's RMB or what currency that is, but thank you very much. I'd love to help more with it's Portuguese. With Portuguese translations. I don't know if we have Portuguese translations at the moment. But if we have enough Portuguese players asking for it, then that's something we'd consider. Malicious Ducky threw in $3.99. Why is Mind Your Manners in-game different? That's because usually Dan Dombrowski creates a YouTube version of our tracks that we upload to YouTube. It's got just a little bit extra at the beginning and end to help it sound a little bit more like a normal music track, because most of our tracks are set up to be loopable gameplay tracks, so it kind of cuts off weirdly. So that's why if you listen to some of the YouTube tracks, they're a little bit different than what you hear in game, just at the start and end of the track.
Makes sense.
Jacko Trap Studios threw another 2. Do the mannequins have a model yet? Yes, they do, and they are animated as well.
Oh, they already all Bible 666. Everybody run! But okay, hold on. They already have animations? Okay, so either kill animations or who knows what they're doing.
So the mannequins are actually completely done. We are just working on the level at this point.
Wow.
Victor the Demon Devil. I love Dark Deception. Can't wait for Chapter 4. Thanks, Victor. Appreciate your support. Sorry, £2. not $2. Yeah, that is pounds. Okay. Fox and the Jack, Canadian 99 cents. Thank you very much for your support. Alice Scarlett. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Gerald Cosby, $1.58. Thanks, Gerald. We appreciate your help. And Claudius Maximus pitched in again for another $1.99. Says thanks. Now thank you for your multiple contributions. Appreciate it. Okay, that looks like that's all of our super chats. So time to get back to questions.
Alrighty.
And these ones are the questions that were emailed into us from all of our subscribers. So I'm going to start with number 1, and that's from Aiden. What app did you use to make the Dark Deception font? And will you make the font available for people to use in type? Actually, I hand drew all of the Dark Deception fonts. So
yeah, I knew about that.
The title screen font that says Dark Deception, Ballroom, Game Over, or You Are Dead, all of those are hand drawn. So I didn't use any kind of app to make the font. I haven't scanned those in to create a font set yet. So maybe when Dark Deception's done, that's something I might share out just for the fun of it, to let people use it and do their own kind of like Dark Deception titles of fan projects. But for now, I don't have anything out there for you guys because it's a bit of work to scan all of those in and create and export a font set. It's a lot easier with a MacBook, but I don't have one of those with me right now.
Oof.
All right, question number 2 is from actually one of our YouTubers, Angelo Plays.
Oh, Angelo, what did he even do with that?
Will there be an option for skipping cutscenes in Dark Deception?
Okay, yeah, I actually just saw his video about that.
I did see his video about that, and
Oh, wow.
And I think that makes sense at some point that we can add that feature in to let people skip cutscenes they've already seen. The big reason why we didn't do that right off the bat because we were concerned about people accidentally skipping the cutscenes and missing story elements. So it's a lot more frustrating when you miss a piece of story that you needed to see rather than you can't skip something that you've already seen. I know that can be frustrating after the fact, but when you're playing for the first time, we wanted to protect those people who are playing for the first time. But we'll come up with a way to make both sides happy, and that's another feature that we'll add in later along with the bug fixes for that kind of final pass after all 5 chapters are done.
Makes sense.
Question number 3 from Little Big Guy 05, and I just kind of grabbed these names from your emails, so I'm sorry if it's not the name you wanted. It's going off what's displayed in your email without using your email address. He said, do you plan to expand the Dark Deception universe to other mediums, such as comics, books, short films, etc., and be a big franchise like Outlast or FNAF?
FNAF.
Yeah.
FNAF. Oh my lord, that's green. FNAF. The way he pronounces FNAF. FNAF, not FNAF. Also making a screenshot of that and just sending that in the group chat. There. You know what? There's another profile pic. My dear lord, man.
I mean, that'd be great. I would love to do that. And we've already kind of reached out to a few authors to potentially start writing some Dark Deception books.
If they make books, I'm getting them.
Comic books are something I'd definitely be interested in, and we're always interested in short animation films and things like that. We like to let the fan
Vince, please, I can help with that.
community come up with that stuff first. But it would be great to kind of officially do something in those areas later if Dark Deception's popular enough. I mean, if we have enough fan demand, we can do pretty much anything. It's just we have to have the fan backing to support it. Because usually that involves partners, and if we have to go get a partner, they're going to look at our fan base, and they're going to look to see if we have enough fan support, if the game's successful enough, because it's an investment risk for them. It's a financial risk to kind of fund that for us and get it going or help us make it.
I wonder how they actually...
So, yeah, I mean, when we get all 5 chapters out, if Dark Deception's a hit game, then we can do all of that. I mean, we can go talk to Netflix, whatever. We'll see what happens. One thing at a time, right? So first we got to finish the chapter 4 and 5. We'll get there. Question number 4. Fat and more fat, I guess.
Okay.
Will we ever see ourselves in the Dark Deception game? I assume you mean Doug Hauser's body. And why did you scrap the old player models? The old player models were from the 2014 Dark Deception. and that was a different storyline. So that was supposed to be a police officer. So we had this kind of detective character model. It doesn't relate to the story anymore, so that's why we scrapped it. That's not to say we won't use it again. If we ever did something multiplayer, maybe we could use that model, make that model an option to be playable. Doug Hauser, I'm not going to tell you whether you ever see his body. You might not. That's something you'll find out in Chapter 4 and 5. So I don't want to spoil anything. Question number 5, which is from Igor. What is your favorite Chapter 4 mechanic? That's kind of a low-key spoiler question. By answering it, I'll probably reveal something. So I guess... I guess my favorite mechanics are in the boss fights.
Ooh.
They are all different, and they're very unique to each boss fight, and I think you'll really enjoy them when you reach that point in Chapter 4. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you what it is, but every boss fight has a different mechanic that makes it very interesting.
Boss fight.
Question number 6 from Nicholas. I know that Dark Deception Mobile will launch with the first 3 chapters, but once Chapter 4 comes out for PC, will it also come out on mobile on the same day?
Probably not.
Probably not. So
Literally just said probably not. Because it would make more sense, because think about it. When the PC version comes out, obviously they would have to make that into the mobile port.
Chapters 1, 2, and 3 on mobile were an incredible amount of work. Porting, Dark Deception itself is a very visually intensive game. That's why the minimum system requirements are higher than most games. Running Unreal Engine is no small feat. I mean, that's a pretty beefy engine that has a lot of hardware requirements. So getting that to work on a mobile phone that usually has no more than 4 gigabytes of RAM and a pretty weak processor, even though it can run a lot of games and it's more powerful than a low-end PC, it's still pretty weak for Unreal Engine. It took a lot of optimization. So Chapter 4 is by far the biggest chapter. And it's in progress right now on mobile, but it's going to take a little while.
Oh.
So I would say, I would expect it after Chapter 4 releases to go out maybe a month or 2 after Chapter 4. So mobile's going to be trying to catch up, kind of following behind the PC releases. But eventually they're all going to get out. It's not going to be too long of a wait. Let's see. Question number 7, Mitch H. What happens to the nightmare levels once they collapse? Do they get destroyed along with their enemies? That's another question that's actually answered in chapters 4 and 5.
Oh.
I will say, without the power of the ring piece, the nightmare can't sustain itself anymore, and that is why it collapses.
Wait. Closing time. That could make sense, actually. Because, think about it. Closing time is saying self-destruct has been initiated. Now that he just said that, I have 2 theories. Either A, Malik is going to press the button that causes it to self-destruct, or B, the ring power is, gone, and then, like he just said, it can't sustain itself, so it probably just goes into self-destruct mode.
What happens to the enemies after that is something you'll find out.
Well, they got been alive or something?
Number 8, El Malaco. What made you...
Wait, what?
You decide to replace the big nurse with the Reaper nurses? Well, first off, you'll be happy to know we didn't replace her. Yeah. She's still in the level. Maybe she's been replaced as the main enemy, but she's still involved in the hotel or the hospital level with the nurses.
He just said hospital level, so victory dance. Then again, it would make sense because obviously, hospital. Nurses makes sense.
She just plays a different role this time. And the reason that we changed it was just because we felt her look was a little bit different in style from our other characters. It had become a little bit too Silent Hill looking, so it didn't mesh as well as we thought. So we had to make some changes to her appearance, and we wanted to redesign a new nurse that we felt fit with the style of Dark Deception a lot better. And make that one the main nurse, while still keeping the big nurse, but giving her a more well, I guess a more unique role in
Three
changing
zones.
her look as well to kind
I
of
am way behind because I see 3 zones, so I have to wait
match
a
with
little
the
bit.
Reaper nurses. So far less grungy Silent Hill. I mean, she had like puke on her chest before that. That's
Puke.
really not what we're going for. So
Stupid
yeah.
song full screen.
Um, Question number 9. MMG M2I. To what extent has the coronavirus affected your progress on developing Dark Deception?
Hmm.
So far, thankfully, it has not affected our progress.
Okay, I don't really want to look. I don't really want to talk about the whole coronavirus, so I'm just gonna skip that
As
one.
no.
Okay.
Let's see where we're at. Lost my place. Question number 10. Blood 4730. Will the big nurse have a voice
Oh,
in the Reaper nurse level?
yeah. Well,
Yes, she will.
oh, she
And
will.
she's actually voiced by
Test
Cat Cressida. So,
Oh, wait, Cat Cressida's coming back. Oh, oh boy, that's interesting. Hold on. So, obviously, I know Tara Strong voices the Reaper Nurse and Penny and Mama Bear, but now he's saying that Cat Cressida, the voice actress of Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab, the same voice actress as Agatha, which Cody, hi, and that's interesting. Cat Cressida's coming back. Interesting.
for you, those of you who do not know Cat, she did the voice of Agatha.
Yeah.
So we brought her back, and she's doing the voice of the big nurse, whose name is actually the matron. So that's
What? Wait, the mate. What? Okay, hold on. What is a matron? I don't know how to pronounce it. Matron. What? What is this? What's a matron? Okay, here we go. A woman in charge of domestic and medical arrangements at a boarding school or other establishment. Oh, so now we know that the big nurse is actually called the matron. Okay. Woo! So now we not only do we have Reaper nurses, but now we have matrons. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. So the matron. The matron. I wish people could stop calling her big nurse now. The matron. Hold up. I can. Okay, hold on. Okay, wow. The matron, though. That's actually a pretty cool name.
her new official name is the matron.
I like how I just get hyped up over a name.
Question number 11 from Silver Sheep. Is Malik the 10th monster in the game?
Oh,
No.
probably not. Yeah, I was about to say,
I'm not
probably
going to tell you who the 10th monster in the game is, but it's not Malik.
It's not Beerus either.
All right, question number 12 from Josh B. Will any of the enemies be faster than your speed? Yeah, I assume you mean with the speed boost, because Agatha's already faster than the player's speed. And in Chapter 4, we have a couple enemies that are faster than the player's speed, even with the speed boost. So, speed boost is not going to be as
Helpful.
I guess, OP as it was in Chapters 2 and 3. There's actually going to be some enemies that are faster than you, even while speed boosting. So you'll have to use some other tricks to survive and get away from them.
Reaper Nurse has to be one of them. Because obviously roller skates. But who else?
Let's see. Question number 13 from Rainbow Cookie. Do the Joy Joy mascots' mouths move when they talk in-game?
Okay, do
Some of them do, some of them don't. It's kind of a mix, even when you go...
that?
I don't know if any of you ever grew up with those mascots that were in like sporting events. Like you see them all the time at sporting games
those
and
things, yeah.
like theme parks and Chuck E. Cheese type places. It's more the animatronic ones with the underlying robots' mouths that move, but not all of them do. Some of them just have like a static face that's fixed. It's kind of a, to me, the ones that don't move are creepier than the ones that do move. Just kind of that glazed over,
I guess that makes sense.
soulless expression. And you kind of saw that in Silent Hill 3 with their bunny. So I kind of made use of both because I think they're both creepy in their own way. So yeah, yes and no.
Hmm.
Kitty Future, question number 14. Who designs the monsters for the game and who comes up with the idea of the monsters in general? That one's pretty easy. I think I answered something like that last time. But just to kind of go back to that's what I do. So I design all the monsters in the game. I
I
have
don't know about
feedback
that,
comes
Vince. You
ID
don't
and
really
theme
have to
push. So you
explain
can't really
everything.
like design in a number 15, Creeper Gaming. With the original Dark Deception, the one from about 6 years ago, you ended up signing with Bandai Namco as your publisher. Is Bandai Namco still with you now?
Oh
Does
yeah,
it continue to
forgot
support
about
Glowstick
that.
Entertainment?
But not.
Uh,
I don't think so.
yeah, so I mean, for
Huh.
anyone that doesn't know, I guess the history of Glowstick Games, the company that came before Glowstick Entertainment, they are different. It's not just a name change. So Glowstick Games, uh, we shut that down in 2016. And that was one that the team just kind of fell apart because partners left and it
Yeah.
just didn't work out.
I've heard about that
So at
story
that
before.
time, with the original 2014 Dark Deception build, the contract was, which is the big on to do, and PS Dynamco picked up Little Night. Real skeppy. Hello Vince, is the hardest enemy and map to make? I guess that's a two-part question.
Let's see.
Hardest enemy to make. Well, I guess I'll go with the map first since that's an easier question to answer. That would be the
Yeah.
Joy Joy Gang level. That's definitely the biggest level in the game so far.
Okay, so Joy Joy is the biggest one so far. Huh. Joy Joy. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess. So
It's also 3 zones.
3 zones. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a minute. If there's 3 zones, and the zones are obviously where you pick up soul shards, so there's 3 separate parts. I know the first one is obviously going to be like the above ground, kind of like Disneyland sort of thing, because, Joy Joy Land, stuff like that. Second one has to be like a factory of some sort, but what the heck would be the third one? I mean, unless you count... Would the escape sequence be a zone? No, it wouldn't be a zone. Remember, zones are like... who knows?
So it's pretty massive. And that was a lot of work.
What's tough as
So that was easily the
AI?
most difficult map so far in the game. As far as the character, I would say the Reaper nurse so far, just because of what her ability is and her animation. It's really hard to do good roller skating animation.
I knew the roller skates would have to do something with it.
Like it's hard enough to do a run cycle and a walk cycle when they're, humanoid and they just have shoes on, but when you have to do like a roller skating motion, that can be pretty challenging.
I knew it was something to do with roller coasters. I knew it.
As well as the Reaper nurse can switch out weapons.
What? Oh, wait. So not only does she have a big syringe, she also has something else.
So rigging that was a little bit of a
Wait, I remember the gold watch. No, not gold watches. The clown gremlins. Originally, we're gonna have like weapons and stuff like that. I think he just might have changed it from the clown gremlins to the Reaper nurses.
challenge as well. So yeah, I'd go with Joy Joy Gang for the environment, and then Reaper Nurse for the character. Let's see. Question number 17 from Delaney. What is your favorite fan-made Dark Deception merch, cosplay, crafts, etc. that you have seen so far? Oh wow, okay. There's actually been a few things that I really liked from the fan community, from crafts, cosplay, and just from fan games. So I think I would say, as far as like crafts go, I know Giove Hobby is really does some awesome stuff. He
Oh yeah, I watched that guy. He's a quite tutorial kind of guy.
created little sculptures of pretty much every Dark Deception character, and you can catch him on YouTube and Instagram. he has some really amazing stuff. He does like pretty much every popular horror game. So he's done like FNAF and Bendy and Baldi's Basics and all of those games. And he's done all of the Dark Deception chapters 1 through 3 characters. So I really love his stuff. I was really impressed with that. Gave him a little bit of a shout out before. Cosplay, there's one of our fans on Twitter, DC Suki Mizu. Sorry if I said that too slow. She did a Gold Watcher cosplay that was really amazing. She put a lot of effort into it. And I think she's doing a Malik cosplay right now, so definitely check her out. She's always doing something interesting, and she's very dedicated, so that's awesome. And as far as a fan game goes, I've seen a couple cool things. I know Fazbear's Deception is really cool. That's a crossover that a lot of people wanted, but I'm just not sure that's ever going to happen. So it was cool to see a fan just kind of take that upon themselves to do their own little version. I didn't have any problem with him using our assets. So he's done a pretty good job with that. And I've seen a couple others that are not released yet that are in progress that look promising. So yeah, our fan community is really awesome. They're very talented and they're very dedicated. So that's always really exciting for me to see these little things kind of pop up out of nowhere. Other fans show it to me all the time, so I'll usually find out about it if it gets enough of a following. Question number 18 from Fractured Owl. Does posting stuff on social media ever get in the way of development? Yeah, sometimes. Social media is actually a bit time consuming, but it's really important, at least I feel it's really important to keep a connection with the community. I follow a lot of people I'm a fan of myself, and they never answer my questions or respond to me. And I'm still their fan, but it's kind of sucks to like want to ask something and never have it answered or never be responded to. Or, a lot of creators want to distance themselves from fans a little bit just because you do have that toxic element that can get out of hand and kind of ruin it for everybody. But I'm not going to cut off everyone just because of like a few people that want to be jerks. I want to engage with people as much. That was a great way for me to justify setting up a server where I talk to people because it's helping the game. It's kind of like Patreon basically for us. And it allows some fans to talk directly.
There's 3 zones in the Joy game level
to me and have their questions answered. And really,
I'm gonna have a fun time trying to go through that.
This QnA is thanks to the membership. This isn't nearly as much as I only do it once a month at the moment. I may try to do it twice a month, but yeah. I guess the one thing that really, you guys all know, dates. I know I'm not gonna hit it, and then you guys are gonna let me have it. So I'm just gonna be like one day, it's out. Go get it, or I'll drop the trailer that way and be like, all right, you got 7 days till it hits. There you go. And I'm never gonna be like, all right, we're 90% complete. It's coming out in, March 31st or something. Do not pretend that's the release date. I know some of you are already running to Twitter to be like, oh, it's March 31st. It's not. Don't do it. That's what happens. So, yeah, that always bites me.
Makes sense.
All right, moving on. Question number 19. Detective Han. What kind of research goes into creating and developing each character and their personality?
Yeah, that's kind of wonderful. Let's see.
So when I develop a character, the first thing I want to know is the environment. What's their setting? What is the theme going to be? And what is the phobia that the enemy is supposed to embody? So in the case of the sewer, or even with Agatha in the school, it was kind of like Agatha was a parody of the Grudge Girls. And it was kind of like, all right, well, I can see what type of Grudge Girl is everywhere. It's always the girl with the long hair in front of her face, and she just kind of pops forward a few feet while she sways, and she's very ghost-like. So that phobia would be, fear of little girls, I guess. But I wanted to do something that's a little bit more creative than that. So, it's a design process. usually I try to avoid what's already been done before and subvert expectations. But if it's something that's unavoidable, like the girl, then I try to do something, a different approach, maybe a design that they haven't seen before. And that's the process I mentioned previously in the last Q&A live stream where I talked about how I designed that, going through the different iterations from like the thumbnails to the polished thumbnails to the color thumbnails to the final polished design. And it's kind of like as I design the silhouette more, I start to get a grasp on the personality. And I already have kind of a rough idea of the personality, and that's what's kind of driving the silhouettes to begin with. But when you have a shape to go with that kind of rough concept, it really starts to pop out new ideas that you didn't think of before, and kind of grow that personality to new levels. And then that's where the feedback with Nixon and Penn comes in, and I kind of polish from there. So it's not really like a one-step process. It's from level and where I want it to see. About question number 20, it's from Sanders Plays. Will there be devlogs about the 3 levels of Chapter 4?
Okay, yeah. Okay. It's been a while.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of finally answer the devlogs question. Yeah. The devlogs previously were pretty much being used as trailers. So a lot of our fans would watch them if they came out before the chapter. And then the devlogs would just die. After the chapter went out, nobody would watch it. I'm not exaggerating at all, like very few people. In a month, you might get like 100 people watch it. So they were using it pretty much just as teaser trailers. And we realized that, so we started making actual teaser trailers. And then those teaser trailers have racked up millions of views. So they're very successful, and we've put very little time into them. So each one of those takes us about 30 minutes to make. And by us, I mean Mike, yeah, Super Horror Bro. Yeah. He makes those things in like 30 minutes, and using the material that I provide to him. And sometimes, I may be exaggerating, 30 minutes to an hour. But the devlogs take days. And it seems like not many people want to watch them, so we kind of just kind of stopped making those.
Something that's in devlogs are not going to be a thing anymore?
And I'm not saying that they're dead.
Oh.
I may bring them back, but I don't want them to be a focus and a priority. It's something I would do after the chapter releases, and I want to do it on a much smaller scale, kind of like a behind-the-scenes review.
Makes sense.
That way, the people that watch it are the ones who are actually interested in that element of it, and not just using it hoping for spoilers before the chapter releases, because that's never what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about, behind the scene, kind of a behind-the-scenes look at how our team works and what the chapters, kind of the design and everything's going to be about without spoiling anything. So we don't want those to be spoilers, and we don't want them to be teaser trailers. So we're just going to make it a behind-the-scenes thing for afterwards. All right. Question 21 from Noble. When Dan makes a theme for a stage, does he first see the scene gameplay and then compose the theme, or does he compose it after seeing the concept art? Actually, the way me and Dan and I work together is because we usually work hand in hand up to the point where he fully understands things, and then he just goes. He's a maestro. I mean, the dude's a wizard. So when he starts off,
you're a wizard, Danny.
Will gather a reference. So I have an idea of what I want the track to be, and the mood of the melody and the tempo and everything. And I will gather existing tracks to use as inspiration, and kind of give him a description of how I want the panic track to be and how I want the normal track to be. And I will kind of break that down for him and give him as solid an idea as I can. And then he will take that and he will just go. And sometimes he completely surprises me. Sometimes, like I would say, mind your manners. It's just that's all Dan. Like the golden rule. Like he comes up with everything himself. I mean, it's just all out of his imagination and his creativity. Sometimes we have a track that's not hitting, and I provide more feedback and direction there. One example of that was It's Time to Leave from the Sewers. And I'm not sure if Dan was happy with that one, but it turned out pretty good, and fans liked it a lot. It's actually our top viewed track right now.
Really?
So
Huh.
everything Dan does is awesome, and I usually once I give him the stuff, he just goes and he already has an idea and he knows how to execute his vision. Like he doesn't require a lot of direction, so that's really awesome about him. And then sometimes I provide. Usually, concept art is part of that package that I give him. So yeah. All right. Looks like that is the end of our subscriber questions. So I'm sorry if your question didn't get picked this
Hmm.
time, but we're going to do this every month. Thank you to everyone who sent in a question. They're all awesome questions. I'm always happy to answer these. And we still have a few minutes, so I saw some more super chats come in, so I'm going to take a. Let me just find my last spot here. Janet Walter contributed another $1.99. Will Lovesick Labyrinth have console ports? So our plan with Lovesick Labyrinth is basically our first obligation is PC because we want that to look amazing and
What? Alright.
play. Right now we can bring it. So yeah, everything's on the table.
I cannot understand. What? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna grab them. But what do they say? Don't get my sheets now? my dudes, let's debate the deception. Yeah.
Table, we'll see how it goes. Box and the Jack threw another 279 in. Will the Teddy portal icon be replaced with Mama? Probably not. I mean, it really is.
Who's this guy think he is? How'd you do? Yes.
Either one of them. They both play a large role in the level, so I don't really see any reason.
Wait, what now?
Is be replaced with Mama. They're 279 in. Will the
oh.
Teddy portal icon be replaced with Mama?
Okay, here we are. I was actually talking to myself. I was like, we didn't get any Trigger Teddy or Mama Bear news.
Probably not. I mean, it really is either one of them. They both play a large role in the level, so I don't really see any reason to change the Teddy icon from Teddy to Mama Bear. So yeah, it's going to stay the same. Now the nurse portal we did change, so it is the Reaper nurse now instead of the matron. That's the only portal icon we've changed.
All right.
Rainbow Ben 2 threw in 150 rubles. Thank you. The end of Q1 2020 is coming soon. Will Chapter 4 be released in second quarter? I can't comment on release dates at this point. We are progressing on Chapter 4. I hope it can finish in Q1, which is the estimation I gave. But you know me, there's always a possibility it can slip into early Q2. I'm going to look at where the game is, if we can finish it in time, and then I will let everyone know ahead of time if it's going to slide more. But my obligation is to make sure the game looks and plays awesome. That's the only thing I'm worrying about. I'm not watching the calendar saying, oh, I got to get it out on this date because I said Q1 or I said Q2 or whatever. If I did that, it would completely waste all the time we've spent on it if I rush it out with imperfections. And usually people are much angrier if they wait a long time and they get the game and it's still not polished. So our job, and after 3's launch, it was we don't want to have YouTubers. Okay, Isaac Smith threw in $5. Thank you, Isaac. What was your inspiration for making Mama Bear and the Trigger Teddies? The Trigger Teddies, I said before, was inspired by Child's Play, wanting to create kind of a psychotic toy or a killer toy. Whether it was a doll, teddy bear is something that, I mean, a lot of the killer toys have been done to death, dolls, teddy bears. We wanted to kind of do our own little blend of that. So you've seen like our teddy bear is a doll too. I'm not going to explain that too much because that would be a spoiler. And at some point I just felt like you have these little kind of babies running around everywhere. You know, where's the mama? And if you knew their environment, I'm not going to spoil it. It fits. So it was kind of a combination of the theme, the environment, and the enemies themselves that kind of necessitated Mama Bear, as well as the storyline. So Jacko Trap Studios threw another 2 in. He's very active today. Thank you, Jack. Will Trigger Teddies and mannequins have new power? Oh, I assume you mean the ring piece. So actually, by Chapter 4, the ring piece's potential will be fully unlocked. And from there, it's about leveling up your existing abilities and polishing your skills. So it kind of ties in with the story, how the ring piece continues, or the Riddle of Heaven continues to be accumulated as you play. But you'll see. I can't go too much into that because it's a little bit of spoiler. Vanderlei 597 4X threw in 2 again. Thank you very much. Will DD's demo be open source someday? I'm not sure which demo you're talking about. I guess you're talking about Chapter 1, the new one, or are you talking about 2014? Probably not. We're not going to really put that out open source. People are already ripping it anyway, so it kind of already is. Yeah, the blanket did just fully die. It's funny. First we had the jackhammer guy, now we've got the falling blanket. So I think every episode's going to have something.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. We will try to hang that with something a little more secure than tape next time. All right, Leslie loves art. Put in $20. Wow, thank you, Leslie. Appreciate the contribution. That's amazing. MGM M21 put in Hong Kong 15. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming across my question. Good luck. No problem. I appreciated reading your question. That was an awesome question. Emily Waffles, yay. Threw in a $5. I'm not sure which currency that is, so sorry about that. Is Dark Deception Chapter 4 releasing in March 2020? That kind of ties back to what I just said, so I'll just let that previous answer be the answer to this. I can't comment on release dates. I can just say it's coming soon. You can't trust me on release dates, but you can trust me on the coming soon. Malicious Ducky put in $1.99. Does the 7th level actually blow up? Closing time. That was one of our leaked special tracks. I wasn't originally intending to release that track simply because, it does spoil that there's this self-destruct sequence in the Joy Joy Gang level.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's a destruct sequence. There actually is a self-destruct process, so that will be part of it at some point.
Yep.
I won't say where. Small Marble threw in $1. Thank you very much, Small Marble. Fizzy Bang 749 Gaming. Is Joy Joy Gang the only level with 3 zones? No, actually.
What?
From Chapter 4 on, all the levels are 3 zones.
Oh. So, Reaper Nurse, then Joy Joy, Mama Bear, Mannequins, and whatever the 10th one is. Oh boy.
And Lolu put in 25. Thank you very much. Donating this question here because Super Chat doesn't work for Chunk. Oh, that's sweet. You're like helping out another member. If you had to arm wrestle... Oh, God. Okay. If you had to arm wrestle one of... Sorry, I've got this shrunken, so it's kind of clipping the question. If you had to arm wrestle one of the Joy Joy Gang, which one would you choose? Well, I mean, they're animatronic, so they'd all probably rip my arm off. I wouldn't choose any of them. That's pretty much a no-win situation. I would start running. I do random stuff. Oof. Threw in 99 cents. Thanks a lot. Sultan Panther. Oh, that's a member. Oh, new member joining us. Okay, welcome. And another one from I Do Random Stuff, another $1.99. Thank you very much for your double contribution. Oh, okay, sorry, it's a little bit chopped up. Will crossover versions be on mobile too? That kind of goes back to my previous answer. It kind of really depends on how successful they are, whether we can port them over. So thankfully, Dark Deception has the support, so we were able to do Dark Deception. This is month number 7 now. We started that in September, working on Dark Deception Mobile for good. Originally expecting that to take -2 play a mobile game as some of our rigs. They have 2 strength with the getting one more contribution, $1.99 from Dylan Spyward. What would be your favorite monsters from Dark Deception? I think I answered that in the previous Q&A, but it definitely. I mean, I love all the creatures I do. There's none of them that I don't like. I wouldn't put them in the game if I didn't love them. But Dread Ducky is one of my favorites, and I'll always love the Murder Monkey because he's the first guy I ever made. Without Murder Monkey, there would not be any Dark Deception characters in. It's lucky because he's a really random personality. Ducky too, just his kind because he's kind of a sadistic Italian. Of course, I love Lucky. Because he's kind of a sadistic Italian.
What?
And I'm not part Italian, so it's kind of like a nice little thing in common we have, minus the sadistic nature.
What?
All right. Do the Gold Watcher... Oh, we got one more from Alex, Step 8. Thanks, Alex. He put in 2. Do the Gold Watcher OSTs have actual lyrics? Yes, they do. I've been asked not to translate them for you. So I will let people keep trying to solve that on their own for the moment. Maybe by the end of chapter 5, I'll kind of come clean on what those mean. But for now, I'd like to see you guys figure it out. So sorry if I can't answer that at the moment. One more from Victor the Demon Devil, £2. Thank you, Victor. That's his second contribution. Will Lucky be the boss in level 7? Just asking. No, Lucky will not be the boss.
Why do you think Lucky would be the boss?
Okay, so that's all the questions for this live stream. That's pretty much exactly an hour. Thankfully, no jackhammer guy this time. We lost the blanket, but that's a heck of a lot better in all the different region you guys are in. Count, I wish I could. It's just not enough time. You saw just answering.
Well, that's definitely interesting. What? I don't know what's going on over here, but still, wow, we got a lot of stuff. I gotta make a doc about this. All right, see you guys.